Hi friends, so today we're going to be working on identifying the main idea of a text. Now remember, main idea is what the text is mostly about. What is the author mostly talking to you about? What is the author what point are they trying to get across to you? We're actually going to be using a passage that you used yesterday over elephants. And you can kind of check your work this way and just kind of see if we have the same thought process as you work through all of your tools and strategies to find the main idea. So I'm going to read this real quick, and when I'm done, we're going to go through it and we're going to use some of our clues that you see right here, and we're going to identify the main idea. All right, let's get started. Elephants are the largest living land mammals. The Asian elephant, also known as the Indian elephant, can weigh up to 11,000 pounds. The African elephant is even bigger, weighing as much as 20,000 pounds. The elephant's gestation period is 22 months, the longest of any mammal, because baby elephants weigh an average of 260 pounds at birth. The largest elephant ever measured was 13 feet tall and weighed 24,000 pounds. So before I find main idea, it's important to read the whole passage first. That way you just get familiar with the material and the topic that you're reading. So now let's go through our checklist and let's find the main idea. Once again, main idea is what the text is mostly about. And this is a great anchor chart to use. So we're going to look through, and as I'm going through my checklist, I'm going to go and refer back to my text. So number 1 says, what is the text mostly about? So I know as I was reading, it was mostly about an elephant. I can see a picture of an elephant, and I saw as I remember as I was reading, just lots of information about an elephant. And it kind of was telling me a lot about how much an elephant weighs and how tall it was and just kind of how large they are. Number 2 says, look at titles and headings. So our passage today doesn't have a title or heading. That's okay. We'll just skip that step. Number 3 says, look at pictures. Well, if I go back, we have a nice picture right here of an elephant. And that matches kind of everything that I was talking about earlier, about hearing a lot about elephants, their size, and their weight. So a picture helps us. It says, sometimes the main idea is stated in the first or last sentence. Not all the time, but sometimes the first or the last sentence basically just tells you what the author's main point is, what they're trying to kind of get across to you. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to read my first sentence. It says, elephants are the largest living land mammals. That actually kind of sums up a little bit of what I was reading. Because everything I was reading talked about how heavy they were in weight, even talked about how large they were. And so it kind of just sums it up right there. Elephants are the largest living land mammals. Now I'm going to look at my last sentence. It says the largest elephant ever measured was 13 feet tall and weighed 24,000 pounds. That, once again, kind of talks a little bit about how much it weighs and how large they were. So that was pretty helpful. Now let's go back and look for repeated words. So this is actually one of my favorite clues to use, because when you hear words repeated over and over, that's the author trying to get one point across to you. And that's kind of what we talk about when we say, what is the author mostly talking about? A lot of texts have, extra information, but usually the author will stick to one point that they're trying to get across, and that's what we call the main idea. What is the main thing they're talking about? What are they mostly talking about? So I'm going to go through, and even when I read it the first time, I remembered lots of words that repeated. For example, elephant was repeated over and over and over. So I'm going to go back and I can circle elephants are the largest living land mammals. The Asian elephant, also known as the Indian elephant, can weigh up to 11,000 pounds. The African elephant is even bigger, weighing as much as 20,000 pounds. The elephant's gestation period is 22 months, the longest of any mammal, because baby elephants weigh an average of 260 pounds at birth. Oop, there there's elephants again. And then the largest elephant ever measured was 13 feet tall and weighed 24,000 pounds. Once again, look how much elephant was repeated. Another word that I remember being repeated lots of times was the word pounds. So if I go through here, can weigh up to 11,000 pounds. The African elephant is even bigger, weighing as much as 20,000 pounds. Elephant gestation period is 22 months, the longest living mammal, because baby elephants weigh an average of 260 pounds. And the largest elephant ever measured was 13 feet tall and weighed 24,000 pounds. So the word pounds was repeated over and over, and pounds has to do with an elephant's weight and its size, which what we talked about earlier, that was kind of what the author was talking a lot about, was how large an elephant is and how much it weighs a lot. Which brings me to my next repeated word, was the word weighs. I saw that word mentioned several times. So let's see. Asian elephant can weigh up to 11,000 pounds. The African elephant is even bigger, weighing as much as 20,000 pounds. The elephant's gestation period is 22 months, the longest of any mammal, because baby elephants weigh an average of 260 pounds at birth. The largest elephant ever measured was 13 feet tall and weighed 24,000 pounds. Once again, look at these really important words that are being repeated over and over. Pounds, weighed, elephant. It all has to do with that main idea of how large and big an elephant is. And then, speaking of large and big, I saw large repeated a couple times. Elephants are the largest living land mammals. And then as I went through here, I saw words that were kind of similar, like bigger, and then, let's see, the largest elephant, the largest elephant ever measured was 13 feet tall. So large, all these words, once again, have in common, largest, pounds, weight, all have in common of an elephant's large size and its, heavy weight. So now I'm going to use my mapping the text, which is kind of just my little graphic organizer to find the main idea. And right here, we're going to start from the top. Topic. Remember, topic is the person or thing that the text is talking about. Well, we know the person or thing is talking about are elephants. So my topic is elephants. I know elephants are going to be included in my main idea. Now, your main idea is what the text is mostly about. Well, you can go two ways here. You can first identify your main idea and then find those details that help prove and support that main idea, or you can start from the other side and you can write three supporting details that help build your main idea. You can go either way, it doesn't matter, as long as they all support each other and support the main idea and kind of make sense with it. So, just because you and I have kind of talked through this a little bit, I've already figured out that I think my main idea, it has to do with how large an elephant is. It even says it in our first sentence. Elephants are the largest living land mammals. So, right there, I think the author was, the biggest point he was trying to get across was how large elephants are and how heavy they are in weight. They're not talking about how elephants are light or small animals. The author kept repeating how heavy their weight was, how large they are, how many pounds they weighed. So I would say that the main idea, because I want to write in a complete sentence, the main idea is elephants are large mammals that are heavy in weight. So I used important words that I kind of heard a lot of. One, elephants. We heard the word large a lot. And then heavy, because we know that it talked about its large size and the big pounds that they were talking about. And a big word that was repeated a lot was their weight. So the author was mostly talking about elephants are large mammals that are heavy in weight. They kept repeating how big their pounds were and how large they are. So now that I know that, I can go from main idea to my supporting details. So the main idea is elephants are large mammals that are heavy in weight. All your supporting details, they're just facts from your text that support what we set up here. So the main idea of elephants being large and heavy in weight, I need to go find a sentence that kind of supports that and proves that. Well, if I look at my very first sentence, it says elephants are the largest living land mammals. That's a great detail to add because it supports that they're very large mammals. So all I'm going to do is copy that first sentence. You can copy it or you can even say it in your own words. Elephants are the largest land mammals. So that's one supporting detail. I need to find another sentence from here that supports this as well. Let's see. I like this one. The African elephant is even bigger, weighing as much as 20,000 pounds. So I know that 20,000 pounds is extremely heavy. And look what we talked about in our main idea. They are heavy in weight. So that sentence right there proves it. So I'm going to just copy that down. I can do it. I can copy the sentence or I can use my own words. Say African elephants weigh as much as 20,000 pounds. Another great detail that supports how large they are and how heavy they are in weight. Now I need to find one more detail that supports our main idea. Let's see. Even right here, baby elephants can weigh an average of 260 pounds at birth. That right there, 260 pounds, that is an extremely heavy weight. That supports elephants being large and heavy in weight. So once again, I can copy that sentence or I can use my own words. I'll use my own words. Baby elephants weigh, I'll say baby elephants can weigh 260 pounds at birth. So let's look at let me zoom out so you can see. So our topic, elephants, that's what our story was about. The author, the main idea, the author was mostly talking about elephants are large mammals that are heavy in weight. And then here are my 3 supporting details that support this main idea and kind of prove that this is what the author was mostly talking about. And keep in mind too, I didn't include in my main idea, your main idea should be 1 to 2 sentences long. That's it. It's very short. And you shouldn't include all the extra details. That's kind of your supporting details. Your main idea is just overall what the author was mostly talking about.